All over Central America, at temples like these, the Aztecs worshipped the sun and the earth and the moon. They had many gods to speak to these elements for them, and to please these gods, they used to give them presents of human hearts. For many years, the Aztec Indians had wandered the land waiting for a sign from one of these gods to tell them where to settle and build their city. They were to look out for an eagle with a serpent in his mouth, and when they saw the eagle land on a cactus, that was where they were to settle. And it was here, on this very site, that the beautiful Aztec city grew. The city was built in the middle of a huge lake, and causeways led across the lake to a vast market square where tens of thousands of people came to buy and sell their wares. Everyone came to meet here and have a chat, whilst all around them merchants were selling pots and pans, snakeskins, silver, gold and precious stones, corn and fruit. And towering over this beautiful city in a richly decorated palace lived the great Montezuma, high priest of the Aztecs. Montezuma was all-powerful. He dressed in the richest clothes decorated with silver and gold and the feathers of rare birds. To the Aztec people, it seemed as if Montezuma and his empire would last forever. But one day, Montezuma's spies came to him with a tale so terrifying that the whole Aztec kingdom felt threatened. They drew him pictures to show what they had seen, and the pictures showed a little band of white-faced men, their bearded leader dressed in black, and carrying a strange banner. Though attacked and hopelessly outnumbered by other Indian tribes, these strangers were winning every battle, and each day was bringing them nearer and nearer to Tenochtitlan. The Aztec people begged Montezuma to call out his vast armies and destroy this unknown enemy. But instead, Montezuma looked up in the ancient book of Aztec prophecies, and what he found there astounded him. The book said that in this very year, 1519, the man-god Quetzalcoatl would return to Earth, and he would return as a white-faced man with a beard, dressed in black. And when Montezuma looked again at the picture that his spies had drawn for him, he trembled. Could this stranger be Quetzalcoatl? He couldn't be sure, but he daren't attack a god, and so he did nothing. The man who had landed on the coast of Mexico was not Quetzalcoatl. He was Hernán Cortés, a Spaniard who'd come to conquer Mexico in the name of his king, Charles I of Spain, and to bring the true Christian religion to the Indians. He carried a picture of the Virgin Mary on his banner, something which the Indians could not understand, and he rode on a horse. The Aztecs had never seen horses before, and to them Hernán Cortés appeared to be a terrifying monster. And worst of all, he brought cannons. Hundreds of Indians were blown to bits as they tried to stop the Spaniards. Their clubs and sticks were useless. Slowly, Cortés and his handful of men advanced through the steaming jungles of the interior, weighed down by their heavy steel armor. Then they climbed over snow-capped mountains. Their hands froze to their swords, and every inch of the way, Montezuma's spies were watching them. After one last battle, Cortés and his men arrived at Montezuma's kingdom. As they approached slowly along the great causeway, they braced themselves for a terrible battle. But nothing happened. Instead, Montezuma himself came out of the city and greeted them. He took them to his palace, he showed them all his magnificent treasures, and he treated them like honored guests. Soon, these two extraordinary men, Montezuma and Cortés, became firm friends, until one day, Cortés asked if he could see inside one of the temples. Montezuma led the little party of Spaniards right to the top of one of the pyramids, which the Aztecs built higher and higher, so that they could get closer and closer to their gods. But when he reached the top, Cortés was disgusted. Inside the little temple at the top of the pyramid, the walls were stained red with the blood of human sacrifices. Everywhere there were stinking piles of human bones. This cruel sacrifice has got to stop, said Cortés. We must clean up these temples and throw out these idols. We're going to put here a shrine to the Virgin Mary and teach the Aztecs the true Christian religion. Then Montezuma knew that Cortés was not the god Quetzalcoatl, but it was too late. Cortes ordered his men to arrest the Emperor Montezuma, and he was kept prisoner in his own palace. Then suddenly, Montezuma died. Some say he died of despair, some say a stone thrown by an Indian killed him, and some say that Cortes himself ordered him to be strangled. After his death, the Aztec people rose up against the Spaniards, but they were powerless without their leader. The Spanish cannons blew them to pieces, and in no time at all the beautiful temples and palaces of Tenochtitlan were destroyed, and the Aztec nation with them.